And welcome to the show, folks. I'm your host, Coach P.
And I'm your host, Lyric.
And coming to you guys today with another one of our little podcasts from P and K.
Episode 3.
Yes, it is.
Episode 3.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Episode 3.
So I got a question for you guys. To all of you people who have that special someone in your life, question for today. Would you rather stay in bed and cuddle all day? Or would you rather get up and spend the whole day together? Miss Leary?
Get up and stay the whole day together.
I can't believe you said that. I'm going to be honest right now.
Why?
Because you like to sleep, bruh.
I do like to sleep, but I like to go places. I like to go places. It's so much. Okay. I sleep because there's no place.
There's no place like home.
I know, there's no place to go.
Like Dorothy.
I got places to go. Don't get me wrong, with the places that I want to go, I want to experience those with you. So, like, if I had the choice to get up and go wherever, I would want to get up and go.
Okay, I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I swear I was thinking that she was gonna say, babe, I want to just be next to you and cuddle.
I can cuddle with you when we get up and go.
How we gonna drive and cuddle?
We ain't got to cuddle in the car. We can cuddle
Okay.
walking. You know that pants move they do where they stick their hand in the other one pocket and y'all crisscross?
You got too much booty for that.
We can do that. We can do that.
And if I'm gonna be rubbing on you, whatever, this is going sideways. Me, I'm an early bird, so I would prefer getting up. Let's just take off. Let's go have some fun, do something outside. But somebody here is not an outside person, so I'm 100% positive we will be doing most of what she wanted to do that day, but that's cool with me. As long as I get to spend some time with her. Points. I got them points right there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about secular versus gospel music.
Okay. So you're more of a music lover than I am. I guess, and by secular you mean like anything outside of the genre of gospel music?
Anything that's not gospel is what they mean when they say secular music.
Okay.
Anything. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's rock and roll, country, hip hop. It don't matter. If it ain't gospel, it's secular.
Okay.
In their eyes.
And when we say they, we gotta preference this. We are preachers' kids. And people always say the preacher's kid, you're the worst kids because you're preacher's kid. I'm not going to say it's not true.
I was a good kid. I know you, Shane.
She was. I was a fairly good kid.
You was considered a good kid at school?
Yeah, I knew how to act at school. I knew how to act when I thought I was when folks saw me. Then I knew how to act when I knew I wasn't around people too.
Okay then. Okay.
In any case, so growing up, what was it like for you in your house, being a preacher's kid, no different than myself?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for you in terms of music? Like, did your parents let you listen to music that you wanted to listen to? How did it work for you?
So I have a wide range of stories with gospel and secular. When I was younger, before I moved to McGee, before I met you, and I lived in Little Rock, Arkansas, my mom wasn't saved yet.
Okay.
So we would get up every Saturday morning, turn on Soul Train, and we would watch Soul Train, clean up the house, of
So
the
y'all
apartment.
in there having a good old.
Yeah, I mean, the
Y'all got
Prince,
a little
the
Soul
whole
Train
thing.
line? Did y'all have a little line?
No, I mean, I was like maybe 5 or,
I had one. I remember doing that.
Okay, well.
Oh, for real?
It was 5 of y'all. It was only just me and
No,
my
it
sister.
was before then.
But so yeah, so we would watch Soul Train every Saturday morning. My mom loved Prince, so I knew the whole Prince album. I'm trying to think what else. I know Prince was her favorite because I know just about every Prince song to this day. I probably know all of them. But anyway, so then she got saved. It was before her and my dad got married, so I had to been 6. So I'd say from birth to 5 was secular.
All right.
From 6 to I don't know. I would say now because
Oh my God.
I would say now that my parents know of, because when I was a teenager, it was both.
So do you really?
They just didn't know it.
Okay, so for all you people out there, do you really think that they didn't know? Like you think that they was like, she's not listening to anything other than.
I don't know. I don't think that they did. I don't think they knew. Because I have a love for Christian music too. I have a love for all type of music. That's my dilemma. Like, I love music. It doesn't matter what genre. I love music, Christian music, secular music, and I just like music. I just like music. I was exposed to it, secular music, from birth to 6. Like, that's a long time.
That's 6 years.
To be exposed to something and then somebody tell you can't listen to it no more.
But why they tell you that you couldn't listen to it?
I mean, because we was Christian, and so, when we grew up, we couldn't listen to that. When I grew up, when we was growing up, and my mom was married and saved, we could only listen to Christian music.
Okay, so a little bit of a different experience, I guess, than you. A little bit. I mean, like, I get what you're saying though. Like, so I was sitting here and I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, musics. I remember my dad having the not the cassette, but what's the one with the big
record? Yeah,
so we had that in the house.
We have one too.
And I remember all of those old school Temptations, all of I remember, I think it was Jackson 5. Okay. I want to say that there was more of like the OJs and things like that. So I remember that. I know going to my mother's side of the family.
That's where you hear it.
No. So I heard those things, like, that was at the house with Daddy.
Oh, okay.
And I remember hearing, going to my aunts and uncles, and it's always the blues playing and things like that. We had Soul Train lines at family reunions and things. So it was dancing and having a good time. And I guess the weirdest thing is Granny Ernestine. She listened to country music. And so I personally have a passion. Like, I like country music. Some junks, like some vibes of it, I guess. Like, I don't want to hear about the dog dying and losing the truck and the whiskey and all of that. But I don't want a banjo. I don't want to hear all of that. But I can appreciate it because I heard all of those things. But I don't think it was until I got older that my parents, I don't want to say switched up on me. But because they are preachers, they were like, you don't need to listen to certain types of music, because I don't think they were saying that we were going to go to hell. I think it was just more one of those things of, I guess they were trying to look out in terms of what I was actually listening to and allowing to mold me.
I don't know about that one, because
I think as they got older, they got worse.
I was going to say.
I'm just going to be honest. Like, as they had gotten older, they got worse. But when they were younger,
gonna say.
Man, okay, so my dad's, well, I think he's about to be 69. And so he's an older guy. He's saying this, but he is not changing for anybody, and that is what it is. I love him. He is freaking awesome. He makes me laugh. Mama do too. But I think as they gotten older, they've gotten worse in terms of not listening to anything other than.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think they tell one of our children that they was gonna go to hell for listening to Michael Jackson.
I definitely don't think that that's the case, but I mean,
but those are the type of people we grew up with. Those old type of Christians. That's the mindset they had. That you couldn't listen to secular music because you was gonna go to hell. That's what they would tell you. Like that was the insinuation.
So. Not defending it, not at all, because I don't think that that's the case. I think that what they were trying to do, at least I can say in my household, I think that what my parents were trying to do was trying to make sure again that, okay, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
And are you listening to something that's going to uplift you, or is it something that's talking about women being sexual objects and calling them out of their names?
Yeah.
Not that, and I get it, music is an art form, and art form comes in all different ways and shape, forms, and fashions, things like that, but I don't think that, I'm not a big time music person to begin with, so it doesn't shape me.
Yeah.
And I know how to just, it can become background noise to me.
So it didn't bother you?
No, it didn't, because, okay, I thought it was weird, because my dad and mom like a certain type of music, like gospel. There's a certain type of style and flavor, and so like
that's just their style.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't.
That ain't your style.
Yeah.
You wouldn't listen to that. That ain't your flavor.
It's not. It's not, but again, I'm not the one that was driving. So I don't have control of the radio. And at the time, you don't have a phone like these kids, kids and just, I ain't got to hear what you listening to. I just put some AirPods in and I got my own.
Yeah. Like I legit don't like that now, because sometimes I want my kids to listen to what I'm listening to just because I want them to, I know that that's the only time that they're going to get that. Because I remember being in the car listening to, getting a different feel of different type of stuff that my mom and dad were listening to and having an appreciation for it, but I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it.
Yeah.
And our kids, they don't. Like I be wanting to tell them sometimes, take your headphones off and listen to this. But I mean.
Then you should do it. Don't be like Bernie Mac. Don't be no punk. Don't be no punk parent. Don't be no punk parent.
But, they got a good feel of the type of music, different music. I would, we don't make our kids listen to only Christian music. We should probably say that.
Yeah, I don't.
We don't.
So my rule in this house is real simple. I know no profanity. None of that. Like what you're listening to has to have profanity in it. Why?
I agree. The clean version. I tell them all the time is, where's the clean version? You listen to the clean version.
Find that. And don't get it wrong, there's some music out there that doesn't have to have the profanity that's just as trash or doesn't have a great message to it. But I think that we have, as parents at this point, have done a good, I hate to use the word good enough because that's never good, but I think we've done a good job at trying to make sure that our kids understand that what they're putting, what goes into their ears can eventually become a part of them, can get into their heart, what you see, what you hear.
That's what it's all about right there. I think it's different for each person, and I may be getting, toward the end with this, but I think it's that it depends on each person is different. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I just tell some of my experience. So I said from birth to 6,
Is y'all wilding out on Saturday? Soul
Secondly,
Train music.
we watching Soul Train. I'm watching old girl with the Asian girl with the long, pretty brown hair doing her dance on Soul Train.
Yeah.
Like, and watching, and like I loved it. And then my mom got saved. She threw away all of her party dresses. She threw away her club dresses, or gave them away. She threw them away. She gave them away.
So did she ever take y'all to the club?
No, I didn't go to the club, but my dad, my real dad, he took me to a place one time. It wasn't a club, but it was a place that had pool tables and all type of stuff in there.
He might have took you just to like a sports bar.
It probably was a sports bar. I mean, I ain't had no business being in there. I don't think. I mean, I was a kid. I just remember playing with the race car game and my dad was playing the pool. Anyway. Yeah. So I and what my mom and dad don't know is that I remember a lot from when I was little. A very lot. That they probably don't know that I remember. But anyhow. So anyway, from 1 to 6, secular, then Christian, or what they thought Christian, only Christian, which that's when my love for contemporary Christian came in. Because it was like a mixture of secular,
kind of an R&B feel to
yeah.
it. Okay.
And that's when I found Out of Eden and Grits and Toby Mac and all of the CCM artists. That's where my love for CCM came from. And I just 40 or 39 somewhere. I had to take a look at myself when I was trying to figure out if I wanted to continue to do music. And I had to kind of really look at myself and see, why is this not working? Is it because I'm not being true to myself? Am I supposed to be really doing CCM music? Or is that just something I felt like I had to do because I was a preacher's kid? I feel like there was something I felt like I had to, that I could only sing. I think if I had to come to them and wanted to sing something else, I don't think they would have let me. But I could have been wrong. I never asked. I just felt like
you didn't think you didn't think you would have that support.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And I just wonder if maybe I had been true to myself, maybe it would have worked out. And again, I love Christian music. I love CCM music. But I don't know if that was my passion.
You don't know if that was a lane you should have been in?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the lane I should have been in. So anyhow, yeah. So then you have that, and then when CDs first came out.
We dating ourselves now.
Yeah, CDs first came out.
They make them no more. Or do they?
I don't think they do. I
doubt it.
I don't think they do. They show not in the cars no more.
Well, ain't no sense in making them.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I have my first CD. I asked my daddy to buy me a CD player. Very first one. So he bought me a CD player. He asked me, what CD do you want? I said, Tevin Campbell. Right? Because Tevin Campbell was my guy. I loved Tevin Campbell.
Tevin doesn't like you.
I love Tevin Campbell, okay?
You may.
And so...
But there's a better chance for Tevin to like me than you. Just saying.
I love Tevin Campbell. I just recently got to go see Tevin Campbell.
I was there.
Yes.
I appreciate the music, and I thought he put on a wonderful show.
He did. I had a blast. Anyway.
I did too.
So I got to go see Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell was my guy. I had a picture of Tevin Campbell in my locker. Like, he was everything. Anyway, so...
She loves you, Tevin.
I do love you, Tevin. I told you that to concern. I know you didn't hear me, but I do. I love you, Tevin Campbell. Anyway, so I had a Tevin Campbell CD and a CD player. That's what I got for my birthday. And I hid that CD for months before my mama found it. And when she found it, it might have been years before I hid it.
What'd she do with it?
She threw it away. No, wait. I thought she threw it away.
Okay.
One Thanksgiving, after we were good grown, we was like 19, me and you were dating.
Okay.
I found out that it had been sitting on top of the china cabinet for years.
She hid your
She
CD.
hid it.
Bro.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, man, I could have got my CD back. Like, I went really looking for it to see if it was still up there. Because at that point, I was grown and I wanted my CD back.
That's so messed up. I
Anywho,
bet she forgot it was up there.
She did. And I said to her, Mama, what'd you do with my CD that you put up there on the... Girl, I think I threw that away. I forgot it was up there. It's like, why don't you just give it back to me? Like,
She grounded you from your CD for years.
For years.
You can have it. You go to hell.
Oh my gosh. So anywho, that's one story. And then I think we were talking about, that was my teenage story, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I hid secular music in my house all the time. I was listening to the Quiet Storm at night with my headphones on. I know you guys out there, y'all should know I do like the Mixtape Monday and I do Sunday brunch. I do Wednesday, Way Back Wednesday. All those Way Back Wednesdays come from my birth to 6-year-old years. Like, I'm sure some people probably thinking, how does she know, like, all those songs?
Yeah.
Because I remember them. I mean, like, those, like, legit know a lot of old songs. But anyway, that's beside the point. So, then I do Way Back Wednesday. I do Saturday soundtracks, because movies, I love movies too. And so it's some good soundtracks on movies. But anyway.
So let me ask you this. In terms of like the music and everything, you said that your parents, you had that 1 to 6. We're kind of rocking it out, having a good time on Saturdays. And then from there to like 19, 20, you got to kind of hide stuff.
Yeah, right.
And so when the soundtracks to movies would come out and it's got these different songs on it, and some of them would be, I guess, a little bit more provocative or risque than others. What'd your folks do then?
I didn't have any soundtracks. I didn't own any soundtracks.
Okay, but like if you went to the movies, did your parents was like...
No, they didn't care. My parents, they used to let us, they weren't tripping on the movie stuff. We used to watch all type of movies.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they weren't tripping on the movie stuff.
See, my parents, I guess that's where it was different at for me. Like the music, so again, I wasn't into music like that. But I do remember having a little radio above my bed when I was in my teenage years and starting to think that I was liking girls and
you listened to the Quiet Storm too, wasn't you?
Yeah, but I was thinking about you.
Oh, Lord, don't go there.
I was.
Whatever.
I hadn't told you that I love you for real, girl.
Whatever. So back to the movie thing. Yeah, my mom and dad, they weren't tripping on the movie stuff. Like, we would watch. I've seen a lot of movies. You know that too. Like, I'm asking you, do you remember this movie or do you? No, I didn't watch that.
So, but my parents didn't really let us, I'm not going to say let, but we didn't watch TV like that. Like,
yeah. If
it wasn't, like, even to this day, you go in my dad, my mom's house, if they're watching something, it's
TVN.
It's TVN or it's a preacher.
Yeah, TV.
Or something like that.
Or Westerns.
Or Westerns.
Yeah.
So, like, when we watched TV, it was the news, it's Westerns, it was a preacher, so I didn't really I guess that's why I really honestly like being outside. It's because it's the thing that, like, okay, you can't control outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I like going outside. I like hunting. I like fishing. I like riding four-wheelers. But I'm a country boy at heart. But I mean, like, I like music, but
Well, yeah. My parents didn't trip on the movies. We would watch the movies. One in particular that I can think of right now, we watch Harlem Nights. And I know y'all know that Harlem Nights got some scenes in it. But what they would do is when the scenes would come up, they would just tell us to close our eyes.
close your eyes.
Close your eyes. So
You
we
gotta
would watch the
close.
movie, but we
Yep.
wouldn't see the bad parts. They would tell us to close our eyes. I would close my eyes. I really would.
I mean, I would have closed
To this day,
mine
I don't
too.
know. To this day, I don't know what scene because I haven't watched it again. I'm serious. I don't know what scene they tell us to close our eyes on. That's so bad. And not only that, well, when we got teenagers, I will say there are a couple of movies that I did not watch because I didn't think they were gonna let us watch them because that was around the time when we were growing up. There was what's the one with Set It Off. There's a couple of other movies that was like the boom of like Brown Sugar, and a lot of black movies came out around that time.
So I watched. So when I did get to go and watch things like that, it would be at buddies' houses.
Yeah.
Like I'd go to a friend's house or this buddy house, and I'd watch stuff like that. So I just knew my parents was not gonna let me.
Yeah, I didn't even try. Try. So it's a lot of movies to this day I still haven't seen, and I have said that I was gonna sit down and binge one Saturday and watch all the movies that I didn't get a chance to watch when I was a teenager.
So I'll be honest with you, some of them don't waste your time.
I hadn't seen Set It Off. I hadn't seen Brown Sugar. That's so bad.
Some of them are terrible.
I hadn't seen. It's a couple of them I hadn't seen, but it's okay. I mean, whatever. So yeah. So you were saying earlier about how do you think that we were talking about parents, and I think you said something about do I think that they were telling you that they couldn't or we couldn't listen to it because they were trying to protect us from something? Is that what you
I
saying?
felt like, okay, so my parents, I remember my brother, he is big into rock music.
Mhm.
Like that's his thing. He loves rock. I like country.
Mhm.
I another brother, he's a little bit more of that R&B type. We go swat, he's a little bit of a player. And one in particular, Lonnie, he was like, so why can't I listen to this? And he's the rock music. And my dad was trying to explain something to him, and Lonnie he's very much like you've got to give him a real concrete answer, or he's calling BS to it.
Yeah, I feel.
And so I just remember Lonnie was like, that answer he gave doesn't really match. Like it don't make sense that I can only listen to this, but then there's this kind of music out there and I really like it. It resonates with me. And so we would hide in the room. He would get, cause this is weird, so old right here. There were cassette tapes. And he would go and get one from a friend and he turn it down as low as he could because we couldn't get headphones because then they'd find out, what you listening to.
Yeah.
And he put the cassette tape in and he'd be listening to some rock music. He was just on the floor. And my first rap song was, I think it was Tila or something like that. It was based, me and my cousin sitting on the floor playing with some speakers, some little 6x9s, and figuring out how can we wire to hook it to a radio. And don't ask me how we done it, but we did it. And we thought that we was the world's greatest little engineers, I guess. And a little bass hit. Doom, 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 doom. I was like, oh snap. I have been introduced to something else.
Yeah. I feel him on that hiding and listening. I had to do that. And I guess that's where my mixtape Monday come from, because I would stay up and wait for we call it at night.
The Quiet Storm.
The Quiet Storm.
So that was, but we keep mentioning that. So just kind of give you guys a little background. So we grew up in Arkansas's big radio station, Power 92. At the time, I don't even know. I mean, we don't.
I'm pretty sure it's still Power 92.
I don't know. We don't live there anymore. But at the time, that's where you got all your hot R&B music that was out, that was coming out. And then at night, they always, around 10 o'clock or something like that?
About 9 or 10.
Somewhere in there, in bedtime area, they say it's the Quiet Storm. And you could call into the radio station and have a song dedicated to a certain somebody. And it, you know, most time be a little soft song, something like that. And so that was my thing there. I could listen to that and kind of think about my future girl.
Oh Lord. So anyway, so I would wait up for the Quiet Storm. I would wait up and wait on a song that I wanted, and I had a tape, and I would put it on that tape, and then during the day I would, I kind of figured out when they were gonna play what, and I would wait for that song to come on, and I would put that song on my tape. I made my own mixtape, so that's kind of how mixtape.
Record tapes.
Yeah, you had. Like I had to push record and play to record my song onto my tape, and I ended up having like a mixtape. So I guess that's where my mixtape Monday comes from. So yeah, that's what I would have to do is just put all the songs that I like, and then like I have a love for videos too. I love videos.
What's your first most memorable video that you ever watched that you was like, oh my God, this is it?
The very first one
that you watched that you was like, oh, I love videos.
The very first one that I can remember was Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. The very first one.
I was gonna say same thing, y'all, and we've never actually talked about this. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The first time I ever watched that video, and that woman is on there, and she's touching on his chest with the little what they call them?
Stethoscopes.
I knew as a little kid. Whatever healing she giving him, I wanted some of that healing too. I'm just being real. But I'm gonna be honest. I guess I don't know how old I was.
Yeah.
But I was younger.
Yes.
And I knew.
I was 3. You was 3. I'm gonna tell you how you knew you, because when I posted Sexual Healing on my way back Wednesday, I had to go back and think. Like I looked it up, saw when it came out. It came out, I think, 1982, 1983. We was 3 years old, and that impacted us.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this song is everything. And what are they doing to this man? But I don't know, but I like it.
I couldn't tell you at the time 2 words to that song. I can tell you every word to it now.
I just found out recently that he said he was hot like an oven. I didn't know what he was saying right there.
That man was hot. Hot just like an oven.
I need some loving.
She touching on him. I was like, Lord, she healing him. I want some of that healing too. In any case, I'm pretty sure that that's what my folks was trying. I guess it was one of the things of just trying to protect me from trying to grow up too fast.
Okay, I get that to an extent. Now that I'm grown,
yeah,
I get that to an extent. But I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with it and why it's a little extreme. Because it doesn't matter that we was 3 or whatever. Like, what do you like? They weren't doing anything. They was just standing there dancing. Like they didn't do anything.
I agree. Okay, so it's no different. We sat down today. We did a little brunch with our children. Sunday brunch. It was real cool, and our daughters was telling us how they watch Grease.
Yeah.
And they start to figure out, oh my God, all of these.
When they got old, now that they're older,
they're like, these are some dirty jokes, and then wow, there, it's some things in there that's just like, hey.
Right.
But when they were younger, somebody let them watch it with them. I didn't.
So?
And so they was talking about how when the girl, what she say, Sandy, about
he said he don't like sloppy seconds, and she thought he was talking about Sloppy Joe.
It's like, so.
Okay, but that's my point. That's my point. At that age, you don't know what they talking about. It's not till you get older that you like, that's what they talking about.
Oh, I can tell you now, I was young and I knew I knew I wanted that healing he was getting.
But there's nothing.
Whatever healing he was getting, I wanted some of it.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know.
That, to me, there's nothing wrong with that because they didn't insinuate what type of healing he was getting. It was a stethoscope.
No, I knew that healing when how she was touching him, how she was moving.
She just put the stethoscope on his chest. She didn't do anything, and she gave him some medicine. Like that was, like as a kid, you're just looking at what is. It's not till you get older that you like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I knew when I got older, I knew exactly what they was talking about. But I'm telling you, as a kid, it resonated with me. Not just oh, that's play. It resonated within my soul.
Okay, but did it make you go do anything?
I mean, I was touching little girls out at school.
And you think that's from sexual healing?
It was something.
No.
I was looking for some healing.
That's not from
and that wasn't
healing.
right. Like, I mean, looking back at it, little girl walking by, I guess I was thinking about the healing and I grabbed it.
No, that is not from that.
I got a lot of trouble at school, I guess. Yeah, don't think bad of me, please. Please.
Okay, so on the other hand of that, and this is why I said that I don't agree to that. It's a little extreme. Because here it is, they trying to protect us from okay, you can only listen to gospel music, but I was a singer. I was in a group called Blaze, and we went to the Gospel Music Workshop of America.
Okay.
All the gospel artists were there, right? So we were a new group, and we were there promoting our stuff.
Okay.
But then there's Mary walking around. There's Tone.
Okay.
At the time, it was so many artists there. Like this is like everybody's there. It's like a convention, gospel convention.
I understand what you're saying.
Everybody's there. CeCe Winans was there. I think Kirk Franklin was there. I don't know. It was so many people there. Anywho, so I remember walking up to an artist. I'm not gonna say who the artist is. He had a hit song at the time.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not gonna tell you I think I had already told you this before. Do you remember?
Possibly.
He had a hit song out at the time. So we walked up to him, trying to introduce ourselves to him, and
okay.
I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he sounded feminine. Now, that's his prerogative. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, here it is. They trying to protect us from secular music, not knowing that these gospel artists, some of them,
have their own.
Got their own issues. So, like, what are you really protecting us from? What did you protect us from? Nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point.
Nothing.
That is my whole point.
That's his choice.
That's his choice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to reference the fact that they were trying to save us from something or hearing something or
speaking one thing and then at the same time the very thing that you're speaking against is right here. And you don't even know. Like I went up there, it was like, yeah, it came back home and they bumping this man's music, and the song was the song hyped down. The song I still sing it. I still sing it, and because again, I don't care. But what I'm saying is that like
they went through all of that. And I'm not referencing our parents. I'm just saying old school Christians. I guess that's what I'm referencing. Old school Christians with the mindset of you can only listen to gospel music. That you got this mindset that is so much better when you have no idea who's singing your music.
Well, I think that's so. I mean, I guess that's why I really love where we go to church at now, Victory Church, because Pastor Troy, Pastor Darla, they speak to the grace of God and not so much to the rules and regulations that we grew up being. You know, it's this way, this
churchy.
way.
It's churchy.
It's a rules and regulations and I think that if people really understood that God can reach people through any method, any way. It could be anything. It could be this. It could be music. It could be TV shows, movies, whatever. He's God. He can do it through any way. And just because...
And anybody.
Yes. And just because, like you said, okay, hey, this brother seen a little fit. At that time, he probably was hiding.
Probably was.
Because people were so unaccepting of anything or anyone that's different. That doesn't change the fact that...
He had a song that was amazing. It was sung at every church, almost every Sunday. I'm not joking. Like, this was the song that people sung every Sunday, just about. And again, I'm not gonna tell who it is, but yeah, you could just guarantee that you have sung the song.
It sounds good.
And jumped and probably shouted and everything else off of it. I'm just saying. So, like, again, like, the mindset. It's just crazy.
But so, I mean, how do you... Obviously, it impacted you as an individual. Growing up, you know, you saw 1 to 6 or 1 to 5 is here, and then from this age to this age is different. Looking back at that now, what is it that you would do with your kids, or that you're doing with your kids that's you feel like, okay,
that's different from what way I
not necessarily different, but just what you consider what you doing or what you have done better? Because on one hand, some people would say, well, let them listen to whatever and they can figure it out. And then there's that side that's like, if there's no restraint, then here you go.
Right. Well, I think what I have done, more so with our children, I'm not sure if you do this because you're not into music like I am, but I try to teach the children that, I know you've told them no profanity.
Yeah, I don't.
So, like, we don't, like,
you
can listen to the clean version. I still don't listen to music. I always listen to the clean version. But I just don't think it take all that. Now, I ain't saying I haven't listened to a song with profanity, but I'm just saying.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but for the most part, I don't want to hear every word being a cuss word. I want to listen to the lyrics. But anyway, I think I've taught my children that I let them listen to what they want to listen to. But I do tell them that you need to be careful what you're listening to because they get down in your spirit. So I teach them to make sure that they are looking at the artists that's singing it. If you don't agree or they're not carrying themselves in a way, that you don't think that some people could be saying different things or referencing different things. And if you don't agree with that, you probably shouldn't be listening to their music. Like it's a this artist that came out with them, I flat out told them that they could not listen to him. What's the guy? He referenced in his video about I think he had like a devil or something, like he was like dancing on a devil or something in the video. Like when you dealing with stuff like that and you like outright putting it out here and you know what I'm saying? No, like that's not something that you should be listening to and associate. And if you put that out there like that, you should be trying to guard your heart on that for sure.
Well, I think that's, so I guess looking back on it, I guess my parents took it upon themselves to guard my heart against certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you said that. So guard my mind, my heart, and my spirit against certain things that they felt like at the time this would be inappropriate for him at that age.
Mm-hmm.
When I got older, they never questioned. I came and
they never
checked in my truck and said, you know, hey, let me see your music. I mean, they didn't do all those things. It was, we've raised you, you know what our expectations are, even though if there was their expectations, I believe it would be just this every single time.
Yeah.
But they didn't. It was, like I said, I think as they have gotten older, they have gotten worse.
Which, okay, that's so weird because you say your parents got worse, and my parents got better. So we couldn't listen to secular music in the house, and I remember my mom threw away my daddy
Earth, Wind,
and Fire
That's his
CD
favorite
collection,
group.
And that's like his favorite group, and she threw away. I felt so bad. No joke. I was a teenager. I felt so bad for him. Like, of course, he didn't say nothing. He just was like, oh, you know, okay, I guess I get rid of it or whatever. But I was like, dang, that's rough. she just around here throwing away everything. She threw away Tevin Campbell and anyway.
No.
Yeah, they got better. My parents are not as strict about it now. Which I mean, we grown now, but I will say my daddy will pull out a Earth, Wind, and Fire song out of his pocket every now and then.
So I think it's funny because while at the same time they've gotten worse in terms of I just think it's just that they're old.
Yeah.
And this is what they do. This is how their routine is, and
everybody different.
They're at that point in life where it's like, I don't really care what anybody else do. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it.
So like if my dad, if he gets in my truck, he doesn't ask me, hey, will you turn to this or turn to that? If I'm listening to something.
But wait. He don't tell you to turn to it, but like, do you feel like you have to alter what you listen to because he's in the truck? Okay. Because we used to, I used to feel like that sometimes.
But that's so you, like, I'm being honest when I tell you, so there have been times when he got in the truck and it's like, today is a rap day. This is what's gonna come on my radio. Now, because we're laughing and we're talking, it is turned down.
Yeah, so he really not hearing it.
Because we are conversating.
Yeah.
But even if that was me and you in the vehicle, I would turn the music down. You're going to turn it up because you just like,
yeah,
I want to hear this. And
yeah,
I'm wanting to talk to you and you just, oh, babe, do you remember this? And I'm like, I do remember this, but I'd like to talk to you. And you like, oh, this song. And I'm like, yeah, we're not going to be speaking for this car ride.
We be speaking, but we be.
No, you're dancing and controlling the radio, and I'm driving. And just,
but that's keeping me up. Otherwise, I'd be asleep.
You go to sleep every time.
Not if I'm listening to music.
Even with the music, you, Chris,
Whatever.
you do.
What
I
else?
ain't gonna need to talk about how your lip fall down when you go to sleep.
That's all right. I know somebody like it.
In any case,
What movie that's from?
I don't.
That's
Well.
okay. Don't you worry about it. I know somebody like it.
Clumps.
No,
What is it?
that's Friday. Friday after next. When he was talking about old girl mustache.
Pearly.
He said,
Not
you need to
Pearly.
get that lined up. That's all right. I know somebody like it.
Tell your dad I said
Oh Lord. Anywho, so let's go through these questions. We probably already answered it. I think the first one is, how do you view your experience? How do you view your experience with?
I guess I really don't have
You don't
one.
really care.
I don't.
He don't really care. He's not a.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. So I like music, but I guess if anything, Granny Ernestine, like when I reflect on that, her walking around the yard with the little country music playing, I think that's really where I took a little vibe to country.
Mm-hmm.
So if the radio is on in my truck, and be honest with you guys, 8 out of 10 times it's not on. Like I can just ride with the window down and that's my music. But if the radio is on, it's gonna find a country station at some point or a country artist at some point. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do I view my experience? My experience was, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
She didn't like her experience.
I didn't like my experience because I'm a music person. It was a struggle for me. Not that I was trying to. It's not like I was trying to not listen to it, because I was listening to it. I really didn't care what they said. I'm just being honest. I was gonna listen to it anyway.
A rebel.
I liked it. I was gonna listen to it. Now, what it did teach me was, and I think that has carried with me over the years, is that I knew I just couldn't be listening to anything.
Yeah.
But that taught me to guard my heart myself.
So that's how it affected you.
So I had to be aware of what I was listening to, and if I listened to it and it had too much cussing in it, or it was talking about something too vulgar, then I wouldn't listen to it. I didn't have anybody to tell me, you don't need to listen to it, because they didn't even know I was listening to it anyway.
Or you had someone, they just, because you were sneaking and doing it, you just learned to do it yourself.
Yeah, so I learned to guard my. But other than that, I'm like I said, I'm a music person, and it just I just didn't like it. I felt like it was taking a part of who I was. I really think, again, like I said earlier, like I think that's where I thought I thought I had to sing Christian music.
I got you.
And that's probably not the lane I was supposed to be in.
Well, you hearing it now from me. I support your vision, so you do what you do.
Well,
We kind of answered all of these.
did we?
Yeah.
How did it affect
said that-
you? I did that. Did it affect our marriage? We didn't talk about that. Has it affected our marriage in any way? Do you think that me, definitely not you, because you say you don't really care.
I don't. I've learned to embrace the fact that music is a part of you,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew that coming into it.
Yeah.
So, whatever you do musically, I don't want to say I'm with it. I support it because I love you.
Yeah.
Now, and then I think I'd feel some type of way if you was running around here screaming and jumping off stuff, wanting to take guitars and throw them against the wall and just yell and headbutt me or something, or, do something sideways or crazy, and I'd be like, hey, could you not?
Yeah, I don't think it affected our marriage anyway.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So we can crop that one out. Did it affect our children? It definitely affected our children. I think we already talked about this. Is where I let my children. I gave them the skills that they need to know to discern what they need to be listening to themselves.
Yes.
And then because I still love music, if I hear something that I feel like they don't need to be listening to, then I tell them, yeah, you probably shouldn't be listening to that. Not probably. I tell them, don't listen to that. And for the most part, they listen. But again, I let them choose. Not really choose, but again, I just gave them the tools to what they need to know to make the decisions that I made. I had to learn how to have discernment for myself on that.
I got you.
Because again, I don't want my kids sneaking to do it. I rather know that what they listening to versus sneaking it, and then I can't control what they listening to at all. If I let them, if they feel free to listen to something and I hear it, then I can speak on it. But if they sneaking to do it, I'll never hear it.
True.
So yeah, I give them the opportunity to do that. So I think that's how that it affected our children.
So you was just trying to make sure at least they got their fair shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So do you think it was effective or extreme? We already talked about that. Y'all know my answer. I think it was extreme.
Mine was just effective.
You think it was effective?
I do. I think it was effective because, again, I remember the Temptations. I remember the OJs, and I can remember walking around in the mall and my dad telling me that him and my mom, my biological mom, had broken up and gotten back together over a song. Hold on, let me think of it.
You said break up to make up. That's what you told me the other day. Not that one. It's another one.
It was another song that they got back together on, and I am not gonna think of the name. Oh gosh, it'll come to me when it comes to me.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna sing
You
it.
told me and I forgot it. But
and he just he heard the song and he was like,
it took him back.
Yeah,
Took him back.
and so I think that it was just enough for whatever age I was at that they just little by little restraints were off.
Yeah.
And to the point that, okay, I think that you can make these decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think mine was effective there. I don't have a problem with the way it was done.
Well, good. Well, I would say with my parents, I think they just assumed that, because I loved Christian music so much. And
that's all you had.
Well, yeah, but I, like out of eating and all that, it was, they knew I loved that. But after a while, I started to even, when I was a teenager, at some point, there were songs that I would play out loud. Because every morning I would wake up and play my music in the morning when I woke up. And so I would play all my Christian CDs, whatever I felt like mood I was in the morning. But at some point,
Lord.
I started playing songs that were not Christian music out loud. And I thought, dude, now they just don't know what I'm playing. Or they started not to care. I don't know which one it was, but like...
And it depends on how old you were, too.
I mean, yeah, like I was getting old. I was like 17, 18,
Yeah,
so I don't know. Again, I don't know if they just didn't know, but they were all good songs. They weren't songs that, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, it was a good, positive song. So either they didn't know or they just didn't care anymore about that. So again, but extreme, I'm saying extreme because I felt like I had to pick. I felt like I had to pick, and I loved music, and I just don't think it was fair. Some think it was fair at all.
Well, guys, she obviously didn't think it was fair. I thought it was, on my end of it at least, effective. But we thank you guys for watching. This is your host.
I'm your host, Lyric.
And I am your host, Coach P. Please remember, like,
share,
subscribe, hit that
comment.
Comment. Do what she said.
Yeah, and share.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.